String method. Sometimes maybe you have a question about what is method. Basically, method in other programming languages, it is function. So method, it is a function. So please be aware of this term because method is a function and sometimes I use term of function. Function means a real function like say hello that we have already created before. So this is also called functions. But method basically is a function within a class. So for example, we create a class for say hello and then in here we have a function print hello. Then we print something. This is called method. We are going to talk more about this later because right now we are going to use string method. This is basically all string. It has a class of string, and then within the class it has a method or a function within the class. So right now we are going to use the string method, which is a built-in method in Python. So the first, I try to assign a value, let's say txt or maybe just variable a. Then I want to create a variable like hello there. Let me make all lowercase. Hello there. I'm here to learn Python. Now we are going to use capitalize method here. Let's start by printing it to see the output in the terminal. So A, as we know, it belongs to clustering. So within the clustering, it has a function called a method. We are trying to use this one, capitalize, and we see make uppercase the first letter in the sentence. So let me print it on terminal. By using capitalize method, it will push the first letter to be uppercase. We try another function called caseful. Basically, caseful converts string into lowercase. So if we have any uppercase here, like this is only for example, just to show you what is this. You see that H is uppercase and T is also uppercase. Using caseful, it changed all the uppercase letter to be lowercase. Okay, now we try to use another method called center. As we know that center itself return a center string. So I will show you the output for this letter. Basically in center, it has some fields that we need to fill in here. It needs width. So the width, let's say that we need to put a width about 20 and we see the output. So here basically it will make a space in here and it push to the right around 20 space. So to see the real output on this, let me comment this one and assign with new value called banana just to see how it looks like. Now, as I told you before, it makes a space in here. So basically, it will center variables, these strings, taking up the space of 20 characters, as we see here, with this text in the middle. So this is the methods of center. We try to look at another example called count. Okay, now I try to uncomment the first one. I want to count how many L in here. I can say L, and when I print it, I know that there is 3 L in these strings. And also, if you want to check how many E, you can also do the same. There is 6 contain E. Let's check it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means there is 6 E in the string. Another method ends with this is returns. Let me type it. Ends with. Basically, this will returns true if the strings ends with a specific value. If you hover this method, we can see that it requires a suffix of strings. So this requires a string in here to check whether it is right or not. It returns a boolean, so we can do some checking. For example, does it ends with Python? This is only for example. So we output it on terminal, and yes, it ends with Python. What about whether it is end with something like dot? For example, we know that there's no dot here. It should be false. If you put dot here, then it will be true. Okay, this is how we use ends with, and it's quite helpful to check a string contains a particular string like dot, comma, dash, hyphen, and etc. So it is quite useful when you have a real project later on, because sometimes we do not know what kind of the output that we need to request and what kind of work we have or assigned to us as developer from the company or our client. Okay, next we try expand tabs where it is sets the tab size of the string. So let me clear the terminal. Now we use and expand tabs. Yeah, as it mentioned here, it returned a copy where all tab characters are expanded using spaces. If tab size is not given, a tab size of 8 characters is assumed. So basically, if you do not give any value inside this method, this consider to be 8 characters of space. Okay, let's put some types here. This is as we learned before that this is variable of type. So if we print it without using expand types, so basically it gives a tab here like this, because backslash t, it means a tab here. You give every word for a particular spaces by a tab as default, and when you print it you see that there is a space in here. So if we use expand types, so without assign any value inside this method, it is considered to be 8 characters. So this is no differences between this one unless you put something like this. Okay, let me clear my terminal. We try to print it again just to make sure that there is a differences. Yeah, now it decreased to be two spaces between hello. These expand types only works if you put backslash t here between every words of the string. So this is how we use expand types in Python. We try to use another built-in functions, call it find. Basically, find is searching the strings for specified value and returns the positions of where it was found. So let me uncomment this. At the example of this method, let's say we use the hello, welcome to my world. So A find E, so it will output 1 because E on index number 1, this is called 0. And if we find O, it will start at index number 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So basically, this will try to find the index of word here. So you know that O is at 4 index position. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to find W, as we know that 4, 5, 6, 7, it should be 7. So this is the way we use find methods. And if we go and hover this, we know that it has a substrings. This is the strings. It should be fields to find the word that we are looking for at what index positions. But also we can give another positions like start and end at what positions. For example, if I want to add 4 and with positions of 10, let's see what happens. Okay, it start to find at index 4, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. From here to 10 index 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to here, and it founds W here. What about if we put something else like this? Because we know that from this 4 index, add to 10 index, there's no y here. So what will happen? It will output as -1 because the value is not available at 4 index positions up to 10 index position. So basically this find is similar like index functions, but the difference is find will return -1, but index, if a word that you are looking for is not available here, it will throw an error. See the value error, substring not found. So this is the difference between find and index methods in string methods. There is also another built-in method that we already learned before, that is format method. So for example, this is called format method. This is called placeholder in a string. So we can do a dot format. You know that format is concatenate between number and or integer or strings. So we can use this to create something here because we know that this is a literal string. So we can use something like price, for example, is equal to 40. So it works, see, for only $40 because we have assigned a placeholder here and it will keep this placeholder in memory, and then soon when we print it on terminal using format methods, now the placeholder will be filled by this value. So this is how to use formats in another way. On previous lesson we use something like this before, and then we put it inside this like item number and price, and we can access it by giving this one. And also you can use index positions inside the placeholder, like this is the 0, so this is default as default even though we not assigned a number here, and this is considered as 1. So right now it changed to 30. Let me clear the terminal. This is 0 and this is 1. So the way we use string as previous lessons is we put a placeholder but we assign an index value. This index values comes from this because this is considered as 0 and this is considered as 1. Even though we know that here the price is the first positions and this is on the second position, but in placeholder it only reads from the index inside format method. So this is how we use format string method. So we try to move with another example because we know that there's so many built-in method in string methods functions. So let's go to numeric function. I will try to clear it first. So I will give you another example. At txt we assign a number, but basically it is a strings. Now we try to find, is this numeric or not? We can use something like this. This will return boolean, yeah, because we know that it only returns true or false if there is number here, so it will return true. So if it is not a number, then it will return false. The other example is lower. Lower is similar as case fall before. Let me put it lower. So for example, we have a word. Now when we print it, it push all uppercase to be lowercase. So it's quite similar to case fall like we used before. Okay, guys, this is how we use the string built-in methods. Basically, a lot of built-in of string methods that you can use and you can implement. Please do exercise by yourself. Try to deep more because you can play around and later on you will be good at how to use these built-in string methods. Then it will so much easy for you to handle a lot of tasks at the end of the day.